My next guest is Caroline Guthrie, who played Susan's friend Carol. Caroline's film credits include Gregory's Girl, Local Hero and Comfort and Joy. On television, she's appeared in Casualty, Family Affairs and Glasgow Kiss. Caroline, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about your personal Gregory's Girl experience. We've spoken to a few cast members already. What was your first introduction to Bill Forsyth and how you got the part? You were part of the Youth Theatre as well, weren't you?
I was part of the Glasgow Youth Theatre, and Bill Forsyth helped out. We used to go on a tour every year, take a show on tour around kind of wee town halls and village halls in Scotland up north, and Bill Forsyth drove the minibus sometimes. And then when he made Gregory's Girl, he just asked me to do it.
Right.
So I didn't audition for it as such. Most of us came from the youth theatre, so he knew us all really well already.
I'm assuming it was your first movie. Did you do that Sinking Feeling?
No, I didn't. I joined the youth theatre, I think either just when they were just finishing making that or just after they'd finished making it. I think I might have joined kind of near the end of them making it. So I didn't know anything about any of them at that point. I have to say that's my favourite. Out of all of these films, that Sinking Feeling is my favourite.
I think it's really stood the test of time as well.
Yeah.
It's still funny when you watch it today. Now, we've heard from other cast members that Bill would use some of the ideas suggested by members of the Youth Theatre. Did you make any suggestions that were used in the film?
I don't think I made any for Gregory's Girl. I did in Local Hero. I can't remember. I don't think so. I don't remember anything specific, but he was the kind of director that allowed you to just bring your ideas on set, and he would just say, I'd quite like this to happen. How do you think you would do it? Which is a brilliant way to direct actors. So he allowed you to use your own creativity rather than just him telling you what he wanted. The whole thing kind of evolved organically.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain extent. He was brilliant that way in allowing you to bring your own stamp and create your own character.
Now, what are your favourite memories of actually working on the film?
I just loved all of it. I was a computer operator at the time. I was getting days off work to go and do the film. In fact, I had changed jobs because I used to work in a shop, and I was going to be a trainee manager in this chain of stores. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't give me, they were very inflexible with days off, and you couldn't change a day off, and I got asked to do Gregory's Girl, so I had to change jobs. I had to leave that shop and go and become a computer operator to get the days off to go and do the filming.
Right.
So funny stories. I remember, because none of us had a clue what we were doing, none of us realised we were actually making a film that people were going to pay money to go and see, like it was a proper film. We'd no concept that this would be like every other film in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I went to the toilets. I went to the toilet one day in between takes, and I walked in. We were filming in the school, so there was like 10 toilets or whatever. And I went, oh my God, this is disgusting. Nobody's flushed any of these toilets. This is disgraceful. So I ran and flushed every single toilet with my radio mic on while they were filming. So all they got was like flush, 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 flush toilets. So the whole thing had to be scrapped and started again. I know, I had no idea. I thought people were just being unhygienic.
Now, the famous phone box scene that you did. What do you remember about filming that? Was that good fun?
I remember standing on a box because I was too short, so I had to stand on a box to film it. It was really good fun. I remember an old man walking by. Well, you know, at the time I thought he was old. He was probably 30 or something. I don't know. But I remember him walking by and being outraged. He told me I looked like a prostitute because when I was in my miniskirt and stuff. And I remember being quite upset that somebody would speak to me like that. So that's kind of...
Did they know you were filming, or did they think you were just getting changed in a phone box?
I don't really know. I mean, there was a lot of people around. It's not hard to... I don't know. He was just a cantankerous old man, I think. I don't know. But that's my abiding memory of that scene.
Now, who did you best bond with, would you say, during filming?
Well, I was friends with nearly everybody already. Claire, I suppose, would be the person that I didn't know already that I would have spent most time with and that I carried on seeing after Gregory's Girl was finished, you know, because we all became kind of a crowd that that would meet up in town and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
How did the fame affect you? How did it change your life, and how did you handle it at that time? Did you get recognised a lot when the film came out?
No, I did. It was always my voice that got recognised. It was never my face. It was always my voice. I don't know why that is. And even now, people still recognise my voice. And not that long ago, I was in the British Museum, and somebody recognised my voice.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, it's bizarre. And then I was in a crowded nightclub in London once, and somebody came running up and went, "You were in Gregory's Girl." It's very odd times you do get recognised. I mean, as for fame, I was never famous. You know, I didn't ever consider it to be fame. I was just with my mates, and I had done this film, and it was just Gregory's Girl. It wasn't like a movie that actors were in. It just didn't really register with me that that's what this was, that people were going and buying tickets and paying money to go and see it. So, no, it didn't. I mean, what it did was it gave me a huge springboard into a career that I had always wanted. And from I was 5 years old, I wanted to be an actor. You know, so it did give me a huge springboard. It gave me the rest of my career, basically.
Well, you mentioned about your voice being recognisable and all these people recognising you from your voice. When we spoke to Alison Forster earlier, it wasn't her voice in the movie, and she suggested that it may have been you who provided the voice of Madeline. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, it absolutely wasn't me. I didn't know until it had been re-recorded that it was even being done, and I've no idea why it was done. I didn't see any of the rushes that she was in, so I don't know what they decided wasn't quite right. Or whatever, but it was certainly not me that re-recorded it.
Now, why do you think Gregory's Girl was so successful?
I think it was, and still is, because it's the emotions are timeless. I think they're just repeated year upon year upon year in every school, in every part of the UK.
Yeah.
It's not specifically Scottish. I think it's specifically youth. And I mean, with my own kids, they're teenagers, and it's the same dilemmas, it's the same conversations that I hear them having, and I think it's just perpetuated year upon year, and therefore the film stays relevant. And also for older people, it reminds them of their youth. It's become iconic in a certain age group of a certain time in their youth.
And I would agree with you there. It translates to any country because, as you say, everybody's been through it. We can all relate to it.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing these days? You're still acting.
I am. I never stopped. I've just changed agents. I've got a new agent, so that's really exciting. And fingers crossed, that's going to take off. I just did Shetland. I was in Shetland.
Nice.
Which was fab because I got to go to Shetland to do that, and I'd never been there before. Doing a lot of radio, stuff like that.
Are you going to pop up in River City one day?
Well, you never know. I have auditioned for it a couple of times.
Oh, have you?
You never know.
Well, we hope so.
It would be good actually, because I've got a lot of friends in Glasgow. My kind of schoolmates that I'm big friends with are in Glasgow, so that would be a very good to get.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you get it if you in the future, and we hope to see you back on the screen soon, Caroline. But listen, thanks for giving us your time today. We really appreciate it. 35 years since Gregory's Girl. Scary, isn't it?
I don't think that can be right, because I'm really not that old.
Well, listen, we wish you all the very best with your career, Caroline, and thanks once again for... Oh, listen, before you go, what was your favourite line from the film?
Well, I didn't have a favourite line. I had a favourite scene, and it was... It's the scene when Gregory is running across the school playing fields, trying to sneak into school, and the teachers are watching him from the staff room. I could watch that endlessly, and it still makes me laugh.
Yes.
It's just the way he does it and the way the teachers are laughing at him. I think it's hilarious. So I didn't have a specific line, but that scene, that's my favourite scene in the whole film. Can
we get you to do one of your famous lines from the film? I think it has to be my favourite one. You know what one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
about the father.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Chris, you're worse than my dad. He's old. At least he's getting an excuse for being a prick.
Brilliant.
Oh my word.
Excellent.
Back in the day.
I'm going to use that as a liner every week in my show.
Ah.
Caroline, that is fantastic. Thanks very much.
Okay then.
Bye now.